Hello, beautiful being, and welcome to another episode of Lights Out with Trini. I've been thinking about how wonderful it is to be free from a karmic relationship, whether it's with a person or a situation like a job, a work environment, or a family environment, a toxic home situation. There is a point that you reach when you're in a karmic relationship where you just grow so tired of the round and round of negative energy. You grow fed up with experiencing the same toxic cycles over and over again. If you are an empath, this is particularly frustrating because you feel so deeply the energy of the people around you. And when you open up your heart to someone in a relationship, it's more than an attachment. It's a connection that you're seeking with them. It's a bond. And so when that person treats you with disrespect, when they fail to listen to whatever it is that you've communicated with them about your needs, about your desires in the relationship, and they fail to respond in a positive way to what it is that you need, this results in a deep sense of frustration. And what I found for myself is that feeling this sort of frustration over and over again eventually leads to depression or anxiety. And that vibe that you continue to feel over and over again can often lead to physical symptoms. So, reaching the point where you decide that enough is enough, it's a huge victory. It's a huge moment to decide that no matter how inconvenient it might be to leave a relationship or to leave an environment that no longer supports your well-being, and that has actually led to depression or anxiety, constant sadness, and frustration. It is a major victory when you choose yourself. But that is really when the work begins. Because it takes time to heal. These karmic bonds go deep. And in many cases, these karmic bonds are the result of attachments that have formed in past lifetimes. And so they're very, very, very strong. And so after you make the choice to detach from this person, this relationship, or this situation, usually you'll find that there's a lot of temptation. A lot of reasons will pop up in your mind, or you might even be encouraged by others to go back to that relationship or to go back to that environment. You might think of reasons why it's easier to stay. And of course, this is temptation. It's not actually easier to stay, or at least in the long run, it's not. But the mind always gives us reasons to go back to a karmic. And you may have found yourself drawn to someone or something that you know logically is not right for you. But due to past patterns and due to bonds that have formed many lifetimes past, we often experience temptation to go back. And so there's a constant choice that must be made over and over and over again to choose yourself, to stick to your choice and to not turn back. Usually a karmic will tempt you, trying to reel you back in, usually for self-serving reasons, for selfish reasons, whether it's to use you or to benefit in some way selfishly for themselves. There's this constant cutting and clearing of cords that must be done spiritually and in the physical realm. It's always good to block them or to resist the temptation of communicating with them. This, of course, can be tricky if it's family or if it's an ex that you share a child with, because there are often times where you must communicate with the person or you must see them, maybe at a family event or for whatever reason. But this is where trust in the divine is so important. Listening to your intuition. This is a process. It's a process that requires constant self-love and consistently choosing your peace over what might feel tempting in the moment. Sometimes during this process of detaching from a karmic, there are feelings of anger and resentment that pop up. There might be feelings of sadness or loneliness. There might be feelings of frustration that come about, and this is all normal. It's a part of the process of detaching. As humans, we naturally have a desire to connect with others. And so once those bonds have been formed, it is quite a process to detach. And so lots and lots of self-love and lots of patience with ourselves is so important. It's necessary in order to successfully leave a toxic relationship. Having mercy with yourself is so important, because when we slip up and peek at a text message or open up an email or open up our energy in any way to a karmic that we are intending to detach ourselves from, it's important not to beat ourselves up over it. Just recognize that you're worth the change. You're worth choosing to do better. Loving yourself through every single step of this process is so important. And it is self-love and dedication to yourself that will result in success. Something really amazing happens at a certain point on this journey of detaching from a karmic relationship or situation. After processing the heartache, the longing, the frustration, the anger, and taking the time to do this consistently, after replacing the energy that you used to give to that relationship, that person, with something else, allowing yourself to experience the joy of pouring that energy that you used to pour into that relationship, now pouring that energy into yourself over and over and over again, consistently. Whether you do that with a hobby or exercise or time in nature, however you do that, once you've poured enough energy into yourself, something really, really miraculous happens. And that is that you reach a point where you realize that you no longer long for that person, that karmic. You no longer desire to connect with them. You no longer desire to hear from them. Seeing any communication from them actually starts to feel like a pain in the ass. It no longer makes your heart flutter or gives you butterflies. You might even roll your eyes. You're like, why are you contacting me? Ain't you got something better to do? You might hear from another person, someone that knows you both. You know, they tell you, oh, they mentioned you, or I think they're really missing you. And it's like, ugh, why are you coming to me with this? You might bump into them in public, and when you look at them, at this person that you once wanted so badly, this person that at one time you would have done anything to get a text message from, or an email or phone call from. And you lay your eyes on this person, and they no longer look appealing to you. You ask yourself, what did I ever see in them? Why did I ever want them? Their smile looks creepy to you now. They're no longer as attractive as they used to be. You might even find them unattractive, because it actually doesn't have much to do with their physical appearance. It's that you've healed. And so you see them with clear vision. You have clarity. You see them for who they really are. Their jealous self, their envious self, their insecure self. You see their breadcrumbs, their pitiful actions that were supposed to keep you around. None of that is good enough any longer. Because after pouring so much energy into yourself, you realize that they were never good enough for you. You realize that whatever they were offering you, it was nowhere near what you truly deserved. After loving on yourself and pouring beautiful, healing, divine energy into your heart, into your soul, your mind, and your body, you're brand new. And you expect more, because you've grown. You know that you deserve more. You realize your worth, and you realize that whatever that karmic relationship offered you, it's not enough to keep you around anymore. Whatever that karmic relationship offers you, it's boring to you now. It feels petty to you now. And this is the moment when you realize that you're done. You're done with what used to be good enough for you, what felt good enough to you at the time. You're done with it. And it feels glorious to know that. It feels glorious to no longer ache for petty breadcrumbs. It feels glorious to no longer be willing to put up with gaslighting, manipulation, control, and half-assed effort. Once you go through the process of detaching from a karmic relationship or situation, and you heal your heart, your mind, your body, spirit, and soul, you're forever changed. You now know your power. You now know what you deserve, and you select situations, environments, and people very carefully. And you select people, situations, and environments based on your sense of self-love. You have a whole different perspective. And if you ever find yourself in a situation or in a relationship that you realize is not conducive to your self-love, you already know what you can do. You already know that you can choose yourself, detach from that relationship, heal your heart, and move forward. No matter where you are on your healing journey, whether you have experienced a karmic relationship in the past and have healed your heart from that attachment, or if you are in the process of doing that. And truly, I believe that we're always healing. It's a constant process of continued healing and learning and reflecting and growing. But if you are in the process now of healing any pain that you still have in your heart, I wish you peace. I wish you strength on your journey. I wish you confidence in yourself and in your healing powers. And I wish you the wonderful experience of trusting the divine to channel to you everything that you need, all of the beautiful energy that you need to restore your peace. It is a beautiful process to rebuild yourself, to restore your energy, and to regain your strength. And I guarantee you that as you heal, you are going to be stronger and more in tune with your divinity than ever before. You might not even recognize yourself. You will evolve so beautifully and so gracefully. You will no longer cry tears of pain, but you might shed tears of joy and gratitude as you reflect on where you were and you are grateful for where you are now. This is the change that happens on the healing path. I wish you peace. I wish you joy. And I wish you so many blessings.